Hey boys and girls, today I chose the book There Might Be Lobsters. As you can see, it's got a little heart up there because it's one of my favorite books of all time. It's about a little dog named Sookie and a little girl named Eleanor who go to the beach, but Sookie is scared of everything. Sookie's just a little dog and she thinks that all these bad things might happen to her and worries about everything. So we're going to read this book today and find out if Sookie ever gets into the water with her friend Eleanor. Are you ready? Lots of things at the beach scared Sookie. Lots. There Might Be Lobsters by Carolyn Crimmy, and it's illustrated by Laurel Mulk. Look at him going. There's Sookie. Come on, Sookie, you can do it, said Eleanor. She stood at the bottom of the stairs to the beach and waved to Sookie. I don't know. I don't think Sookie's wanting to go. But Sookie was just a small dog, and the stairs were big and sandy, and she hadn't had lunch yet, and her foot hurt a little, and she might get a shell stuck up her nose, and she might tumble on her head, and then she'd need stitches, and besides, there might be lobsters. So Sookie sat at the top of the stairs with Chunka by her side. Chunka must be her favorite toy. Oh, all right, said Eleanor. She picked them both up with a tss and a huff and carried them down the stairs. Come on, Sookie, you can do it, said Eleanor. She tossed a beach ball Sookie's way. But Sookie was just a small dog, and the beach ball was big and beachy, and it might hit her nose, and then it would pop. And it would be too loud, or it might knock her down, and she might never get back up again. And she might have to live on the beach forever and eat seaweed to survive. And besides, beach balls attract lobsters. So Sookie sat far away from the beach ball with Chunka by her side. Sookie's scared of everything. Oh, Sookie, Eleanor swooped that pup up with a tss and a huff and cradled her in her arms. Come on, Sookie, you can do it. Eleanor stood at the water's edge and splashed a little splash at Sookie. But Sookie was just a small dog, and those waves were big, and they were whooshy, and they were salty, and they were too wet, and they might toss her out in the middle of the sea, and she might float all the way to Tasmania or even Florida, and she might be swallowed by a whale. And she wasn't wearing a bathing suit. And besides, there might be lobsters. So Sookie sat at the edge of the water with Chunka by her side. Oh, Sookie, said Eleanor. She shook her head and dove into the waves. Sookie sat and watched beach balls bouncing and big boys running and umbrellas flapping and lifeguards blowing loud whistles and waves splish-splashing with Chunka. Floating out to sea, Sookie barked for Chunka to come back. Chunka started to sink. Sookie started to paddle. She paddled past the big beachy ball and through a huge salty wave and over something that might even be a lobster. Until she had Chunka. He was safe. Sookie had saved him. She felt braver than the bravest dog, because even though she was very small, Chunka was smaller. Oh, Sookie, I knew you could do it, said Eleanor. She picked them both up with a yay and a hooray and swung them very gently through the air. Sookie sat in the sandy sand with the wavy waves and watched for lobsters with Chunka by her side. and they didn't see one all day. Oh my goodness. So at the beginning of the story, Sookie wouldn't even go down the steps to the beach. And by the end, she figured out that the water wasn't that scary. What changed Sookie's mind? Turn and tell somebody you love at your house what happened in this story. What was the problem and what happened in the end?